I think that before I came to this, I knew that vulnerability was one of my strong suits, but I just didn't. I didn't get to show it as much. I didn't get to share it as much. Why am I feeling emotional about that?
Because it's true.
So I've come away like feeling really beautiful.
It's just you f***ing are.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I mean, God.
You know?
Yeah.
So apparently the Wicked press tour just turned into the messiest love triangle Hollywood has seen in years, and Lena Waithe is about ready to blow the whole thing wide open. Because what started as cute co-star chemistry between Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo has now got Cynthia's longtime girlfriend posting cryptic messages that are basically screaming, "Back off my woman." And honestly, the receipts are piling up faster than Ariana can post another wide-eyed Instagram selfie. Let me break down how we got here, because this drama has layers. For months now, fans have been watching Ariana and Cynthia on the Wicked press circuit, and something felt different from the jump. These weren't your standard co-star photo ops, where everyone smiles politely and talks about the craft. No, this was hand-holding at every event, finishing each other's sentences in interviews, whispering and giggling during live broadcasts like they were the only two people in the room. The kind of energy that makes people start asking questions. At first, everyone chalked it up to method acting or maybe just a really deep friendship. You know how some co-stars get super close during filming and then drift apart after the promo tour ends? That's what people assumed was happening here. Except the touchy-feely behavior kept escalating. Red carpets turned into full-on moments where Ariana and Cynthia couldn't seem to exist in the same space without some kind of physical contact. A hand on the shoulder here, fingers intertwined there, Cynthia literally adjusting Ariana's dress on camera like she's her personal stylist and bodyguard rolled into one. Then came that viral moment at a promo stop where a fan got a little too close to Ariana and Cynthia jumped in before security could even react. The way she rushed over, the protective touch on Ariana's arm, the genuine concern in her face. People immediately clocked that this wasn't just professional courtesy. This was something that felt personal, intimate even. And the interviews? That's where things really started looking suspicious. Every single sit-down had them pressed shoulder to shoulder, laughing at inside jokes, going off on tangents about their connection that felt way too intense for two people who'd only known each other for a couple of years. In one interview, Ariana literally said she hopes Cynthia will be in her life forever, and Cynthia responded by talking about letting friendships in and taking care of each other on and off screen. Sweet words, sure, but the way they were looking at each other while saying it? That had people rewinding the clip a dozen times trying to figure out what they were really seeing. Behind-the-scenes footage made it even worse. Every candid clip showed them in their own little bubble, whispering between takes, brushing against each other like it was muscle memory, sharing these long, meaningful glances that the camera just happened to catch. Fans started calling it flirt energy in high definition, and honestly, it's hard to argue with that assessment. Now here's where Lena Waithe enters the picture, and trust me, she's been paying attention to all of this. Lena and Cynthia have been together for years. They've built a life, navigated Hollywood as a couple, dealt with their own share of public scrutiny. So when your girlfriend suddenly becomes the internet's favorite ship with a global pop star, yeah, you're gonna have some feelings about that. And Lena? She's not the type to suffer in silence forever. It started subtle. A cryptic Instagram story here and there, the kind that doesn't name names, but everyone knows exactly who it's about. Lena posted things like, "Some folks don't know the difference between connection and confusion," which landed right after another round of Ariana and Cynthia looking way too cozy at a Wicked event. The timing wasn't coincidental. This was a woman watching her relationship get tested in real time and choosing to send a message without starting an all-out war. Then came the post that really got people talking. Lena shared a black screen with white text that read, "You can tell when someone's performing love instead of living it." Fans immediately screenshot that one and started analyzing it like it was a coded threat. Because if you've been watching this whole situation unfold, you know exactly what she's implying. That Ariana's charm offensive isn't genuine affection, it's calculated. That all the tears and soft-spoken vulnerability and wide-eyed innocence is a performance designed to make people want to protect her. And Cynthia, being the empathetic person she is, walked right into that trap. Here's the thing about Ariana's pattern, and there definitely is a pattern. She tends to form these intense emotional connections with people she works with, and those connections have a habit of crossing lines. We saw it with Pete Davidson. We saw it with Dalton Gomez. We definitely saw it with Ethan Slater, where she allegedly started something while he was still married with a newborn baby. Each time, it begins as friendship, as chemistry, as just vibes. And then suddenly there are matching tattoos and declarations of soulmate energy, and everyone's changing their relationship status. Speaking of matching tattoos, yeah, Ariana and Cynthia got those during filming. They both got inked with something related to Wicked, and while that might sound innocent on paper, Ariana doesn't exactly have a history of casual tattoos with friends. This is someone who marks her relationships with permanent reminders. Pete's name, Dalton's references, tributes to Mac Miller. Ink means something to her. So when fans found out she and Cynthia now share matching body art, the alarm bells started ringing loud. Lena clearly heard those bells too, because her posts started getting more pointed. She shared a screenshot from a Wicked interview where Ariana jokingly called herself insufferable, and Lena's caption was just an eye-roll emoji. Simple, but effective. That's code for, I'm watching this circus, and I'm not impressed. Another post showed a photo from an event where all three women were together, and the composition told you everything you needed to know. Lena off to the side, arms crossed, tight smile. Ariana and Cynthia front and center, laughing and leaning into each other like they were posing for a couple's shoot. That image went viral for a reason. It perfectly captured the tension everyone was speculating about. Around this time, sources close to Lena started talking to blogs and gossip sites, and the word they kept using was uncomfortable. Lena reportedly feels like Ariana has been crossing emotional boundaries while hiding behind the friendship label. That she uses her vulnerability as a tool to create intimacy, making Cynthia feel needed and protective in a way that blurs the line between platonic and something more. And listen, Lena would know what that looks like because her own relationship with Cynthia started in murky waters. When they first got together, Lena was still married to someone else. People whispered back then too, said their connection moved too fast, that lines got blurred. So now that she might be on the receiving end of the same situation, some folks online are calling it karma. They're saying she's just getting a taste of her own medicine. But even if that's true, it doesn't make the current situation any less messy or any less real. Because this time, the whole world is watching. Every interview clip gets dissected. Every photo gets analyzed. Every gesture between Ariana and Cynthia gets turned into evidence for one side or the other. Fans have literally gone back through months of footage looking for proof. There's that moment where Cynthia fixes Ariana's outfit mid-interview, fussing over her like a caretaker. There's the clip where Ariana looks upset about something and Cynthia immediately asks, "Are you okay?" like 3 times in 30 seconds. There's all the hand-holding, the whispered conversations, the synchronized body language that makes them look less like co-stars and more like people who've known each other intimately for years. And then there's the way Ariana talks about their connection in interviews, using language that feels deliberately vague but emotionally loaded. She's said things like, "I channel energy through touch, I need physical connection to feel grounded." On the surface, that sounds like typical Ariana spirituality speak. But in context, with everything else happening, it reads like someone trying to justify behavior that other people find inappropriate. Cynthia's responses haven't exactly helped calm things down either. She talks about their bond like it's transcendent, like they found pieces of themselves in each other, like their souls recognized something familiar. That's beautiful language for a friendship. It's also the exact kind of language people use when they're falling for someone. Now, the rumor that really sent this whole thing into overdrive is the one about Lena threatening to expose Ariana. Word on the street is that Lena has been collecting receipts. Screenshots, text messages, maybe even recordings of conversations where things were said that would completely change how people view this whole dynamic. She hasn't gone public with any of it yet, but the threat is apparently real enough that people in Ariana's camp are getting nervous. And here's where it gets even more complicated. There's been long-standing speculation about Ariana's sexuality, whispers that she's more fluid than she publicly admits. Victoria Monet once made a comment about Ariana being flexible with her affections, and that remark didn't come from nowhere. The idea that Ariana might be attracted to women isn't shocking to anyone who's been paying attention. What's shocking is that it might now involve someone else's girlfriend, someone who's in a committed relationship, someone who trusted that co-star chemistry would stay professional. Fans have started calling this whole situation Mrs. Steal Your Girl energy, a play on the old accusations that Ariana steals boyfriends. Only now, instead of coming for someone's man, she's allegedly making moves on someone's woman. And whether or not that's actually happening, the optics are terrible, the pattern looks too familiar, the behavior feels too calculated, and Lena's patience is clearly running out. At a recent event, people noticed that Cynthia was keeping her distance from both women. No hand-holding with Ariana, no PDA with Lena, just polite waves and tight smiles. She looked like someone trying desperately not to pick a side while knowing that staying neutral isn't really an option anymore. Industry insiders say the Wicked team has been quietly trying to manage the situation behind the scenes, asking everyone to keep things professional and focus on promoting the film. Because this drama is starting to overshadow the actual project, which is the last thing a studio wants when they've invested this much money. But when you've got a global pop star, an Oscar-nominated actress, and a powerful Hollywood producer all caught in the same messy triangle, there's no containing that. Especially not when one of them is reportedly ready to go nuclear with the truth. Then came the twist that made everyone's jaw drop. Reports started circulating that Ariana recently ended things with Ethan Slater. No official statement, no confirmation, just her showing up to events solo and glowing. And right when people started speculating about who might be next in her romantic rotation, boom, she's back doing interviews with Cynthia again. Calling her my forever, talking about how their connection goes beyond words, posting fan edits of the two of them with captions about limitless love. The internet absolutely lost it. Because at this point, the pattern is undeniable. Every project Ariana does comes with a new romantic entanglement. Every co-star becomes a potential love interest. Every close friendship turns into something that makes other people uncomfortable. And this time, she's not dealing with some actor she can move on from once the press tour ends. She's dealing with Cynthia Erivo, one of the most respected talents in Hollywood. And more importantly, she's dealing with Lena Waithe, who is powerful, connected, and clearly unafraid to protect what's hers. What makes this whole mess even more fascinating is how Ariana's handling it. She's playing it cool, almost too cool. Reposting fan content, dropping vague captions about love being infinite, showing up to interviews with that signature wide-eyed innocence that either charms people or drives them crazy, depending on which side they're on. She's acting unbothered, like all the speculation is just noise created by people who don't understand the depth of real connection. But Lena isn't buying it. Sources say she's been venting to friends about feeling like an outsider in her own relationship for the first time ever. That she's never had to compete for Cynthia's attention or affection before, and the fact that she's in that position now is eating away at her. She's reportedly been asking Cynthia to set clearer boundaries, to tone down the public affection with Ariana, to remember what's at stake here. But every time Cynthia and Ariana get in front of cameras together, the chemistry takes over again. The laughter, the eye contact, the synchronized energy. It's like they can't help themselves. And that's what's driving Lena up the wall. Not just the behavior itself, but the fact that it seems involuntary. Like there's a magnetic pull between them that neither of them is willing to resist or even acknowledge as problematic. The fans are completely split on this. One camp says Lena's being insecure and jealous, that Ariana and Cynthia genuinely have a deep platonic bond and people are sexualizing a real friendship because society can't handle two women being close without making it romantic. The other camp says the pattern is too obvious to ignore, that Ariana has a documented history of emotional entanglement disguised as friendship, and that Lena has every right to be concerned when her girlfriend is acting like she's in a relationship with two people. Either way, the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Lena's cryptic posts keep coming. Ariana keeps playing innocent. Cynthia keeps trying to balance both dynamics without explicitly addressing the elephant in the room. And everyone's waiting for the moment when somebody slips and the truth comes out. Because here's what we know for sure. Lena has receipts. She's been watching, collecting, waiting for the right moment. And when she decides to share what she knows, it's not going to be subtle. It'll be a full exposure, the kind that changes narratives overnight and forces everyone to pick a side. If that happens, Ariana's carefully crafted image rehab after the Ethan Slater mess could crumble instantly. All the work she's done to rebuild public trust, all the strategic interviews about growth and healing, all of it could disappear in one viral Twitter thread or Instagram post. And the question everyone's asking now is, how far is Ariana really willing to go for connection? Is this actually love or chemistry or soulmate recognition? Or is it just another pattern playing out, another case of her falling for someone who's unavailable and calling it fate? And on the flip side, how far is Lena willing to go to stop it? Will she stay quiet and hope it blows over after the press tour ends? Or will she go full scorched earth and expose everything she thinks has been happening behind closed doors? One thing's certain, this isn't over. Not even close. Because when love triangles hit the Hollywood spotlight, someone always ends up exposed. Someone always becomes the villain in the public narrative. And right now, all three of them are one headline away from that happening. So that's where we're at with this whole mess. Ariana and Cynthia acting like soulmates on every press stop. Lena posting cryptic warnings that sound more like countdowns. And the entire internet watching it unfold in real time like it's the most dramatic reality show that nobody asked for, but everybody's invested in. What do you think is really going on here? Is Ariana genuinely just close friends with Cynthia and people are reading too much into it? Or is Lena right to be concerned about boundaries getting crossed? Drop your take in the comments, because I know y'all have opinions on this. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, because when Lena finally decides to spill what she's been holding back, you know we're gonna be right here breaking it all down. This story is far from finished, and something tells me the biggest reveals are still coming.